A mother in tears after being told her missing daughter, Ashley Elkins, was murdered.
What they indicated was there was substantial evidence collected at the home of the ex-boyfriend. They also indicated that based upon that evidence, that Ashley was murdered.
This is the story of Ashley Elkins, a mother whose life revolved around her family. But her world would collide with darkness when her past came back to haunt her. On January 2, 2025, Ashley left her home in Warren, Michigan, never to return. Her last known stop was the residence of her ex-boyfriend, DeAndre Booker, a man she had tried to distance herself from after a tumultuous breakup. What happened in those final hours? Did Ashley's instincts warn her of the danger lurking nearby? And why did her ex suddenly become the prime suspect in her disappearance? As the investigation unfolds, chilling details surface, cryptic messages, disturbing online searches, and a haunting timeline that points to a tragic end. Welcome to Viral Crimes. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more stories. This story takes us to Warren, Michigan, a bustling city located in Macomb County, just north of Detroit. Warren is Michigan's third largest city and has faced its share of challenges with local law enforcement working tirelessly to keep the community safe. At the heart of this story is 30-year-old Ashley Elkins. Ashley grew up in a close-knit family with her two younger sisters. From a young age, Ashley displayed a passion for creativity, particularly in hairstyling. Her natural talent led her to pursue a career as a hairstylist. Ashley eventually established a home-based salon where she provided hair services to friends, family, and loyal clients. Known for her welcoming personality and meticulous attention to detail, Ashley's salon became a cherished space where clients felt more like family. Her work was more than just a job, it was a reflection of her deep care for the people around her. Ashley was a devoted mother to two sons, aged 10 and 7. Her boys were the light of her life, and she poured her heart into raising them with love and strength. Her role as a mother defined much of who she was. She was actively involved in their education and extracurricular activities, always encouraging them to dream big and be kind-hearted. Despite the challenges of being a single mother, Ashley managed to provide a nurturing and stable home for her children, ensuring they felt loved and supported. Ashley had recently been hired by an online casino agency, excited about the new chapter in her career. She was looking forward to balancing her hairstyling business with her new role, eager to provide more for her children. In Ashley Elkins' life, there was an individual who played a significant role, her ex-boyfriend DeAndre Booker. They had been in a relationship that lasted about a year before things took a troubling turn. While their relationship initially seemed ordinary, cracks began to show, and Ashley ultimately ended things in September 2024. From that point on, DeAndre's behavior toward her became concerning. He allegedly started stalking her, showing up at her home uninvited, and even booking an appointment at her salon using a fake name just days before her disappearance. Ashley's family mentioned how DeAndre seemed to struggle with a breakup. He repeatedly tried to contact her, despite her clear attempts to distance herself from him. According to her mother, Monica Elkins, Ashley even moved her home-based hair salon to another location to avoid any potential conflicts with DeAndre, especially since he had displayed jealousy about her male clients. What made the situation even more disturbing was how deeply DeAndre had integrated himself into Ashley's family life. He had been welcomed into family gatherings, played basketball with Ashley's sons, and appeared to care about the boys. For a while, it seemed as if he was going to be part of their future. But as the relationship unraveled, Ashley became more wary. Friends reported that she often felt like she was being followed after the breakup. Her family described DeAndre as someone skilled with computers, creating fake social media profiles and documents, making it difficult to know who he truly was. Despite his outward charm, there was an unsettling side to him that no one fully understood until it was too late. Ashley's decision to cut ties with DeAndre seemed to push him into darker behavior. Her mother recalled that Ashley would remain silent and hide inside her home whenever DeAndre showed up unexpectedly. Despite her efforts to move on, DeAndre's presence lingered and his obsessive actions only intensified. No one could have predicted just how far things would spiral. No one could have imagined what was about to unfold. On the morning of January 2, 2025, Ashley Elkins left her home at around 8:30 a.m., intending to run errands. She was last seen by her family wearing a long black coat with fur around the hood and black leggings. Ashley drove away in a gray 2009 Chevy Malibu with no license plates. This seemingly routine morning marked the beginning of a devastating series of events that would culminate in her disappearance. Her mother, Monica Elkins, arrived at Ashley's house about 10 minutes after she left. Monica sent Ashley a text at 9:06 a.m., sharing a dream she'd had about her daughter borrowing her truck and leaving her car behind in a field. When Ashley received the text, her only response was a brief "Aw, man." After that, Monica tried to FaceTime her daughter, but Ashley didn't answer. Hours later, a family member received a text from Ashley saying she was heading to a specific beauty supply store. However, shortly after that, Ashley's phone turned off, raising immediate concern among her loved ones. It wasn't long before Monica and other family members began to worry that something was seriously wrong. Ashley's family had reasons to be concerned as her ex-boyfriend DeAndre Booker had been exhibiting troubling behavior for months. On December 31, 2024, just days before Ashley disappeared, DeAndre booked a hair appointment at her home salon under a fake name. When he arrived at her house, Ashley recognized him and refused to answer the door. He knocked on both the front and side doors, but Ashley remained inside, instructing everyone in the house to stay quiet until he left. DeAndre eventually left, but this unsettling incident was an ominous prelude to what would happen just 2 days later. On January 2, Ashley's phone records indicated that her last known location was at Booker's residence in the 20,900 block of Pinehurst Street in Roseville, Michigan. It's unclear what transpired when she arrived, but police and family members later expressed strong suspicions that foul play occurred at his apartment. Ashley's mother, Monica, and her uncle, Maurice Morton, both tried to reach her throughout the day, but all attempts were unsuccessful. Maurice noted that it was highly unusual for Ashley to ignore calls or messages, especially from her mother. He emphasized that Ashley loved and adored her 2 sons and would never willingly leave them without communication. On January 3, 2025, the family officially reported Ashley missing to the Warren Police Department.
Yeah, it's been 3 days. 3 days. And I just need help finding her. I just feel like I'm not having enough help. They just taking too long. It's been 3 days. They should have been on this a long time ago. I need help, y'all. I need help. I need people come and help. Just help in searching all the phone calls and all the leads. And I think y'all, it just ain't fast enough. It's been 3 days. It's been too long. It's been too long, y'all. I just feel like they're not doing enough. Y'all just keep posting, keep sharing. Just keep posting, keep sharing. All right. Thank y'all.
As the investigation began, police discovered that Ashley's phone had last pinged near DeAndre's apartment. This discovery prompted authorities from both Warren and Roseville to visit DeAndre's residence at the Hampton Court Apartments. However, neither Ashley nor DeAndre was there. The investigation took a significant turn on January 7, 2025, when police located Ashley's car about 2 miles from DeAndre's apartment. The gray Chevy Malibu was found near 13 Mile Road and Little Mac Avenue in Roseville. Later that evening, law enforcement executed a search warrant at DeAndre's residence, where they collected substantial evidence, including items from a trash dumpster. Authorities became increasingly convinced that a violent crime had taken place inside the apartment. On January 8, 2025, DeAndre was apprehended in Flint, Michigan.
Breaking tonight, an arrest has been made in the case of a missing Warren mother. Police and family confirming to Local 4 tonight, Ashley Elkins' ex-boyfriend is now in custody for her suspected murder.
Based upon that evidence that Ashley was murdered, they don't have her body at this time. They do have good leads on where her body is.
And it is the ex-boyfriend of Ashley Elkins, a mother of 2, who is now behind bars for her murder. We've been tracking this case from the very beginning, and it's a heartbreaking development no one wanted to hear. So let's quickly recap how we got to this point. Ashley was last seen leaving her home January 2nd. Since then, there has been no sign of her. Yesterday, police converged on the home of her ex-boyfriend. There, investigators say they found significant evidence. That same night, Ashley's car was found abandoned in the area of 13 Mile and Little Mac. And then tonight, family confirmed they have reason to believe Ashley was murdered. Our Jacqueline Francis was there as the family spoke to reporters tonight. Jacqueline, just a heartbreaking development.
KG, it really is. The family was called here to the Roseville Police Department tonight. That's where they were told that Ashley was killed. There is no body at this time, but the ex-boyfriend is behind bars. A mother in tears after being told her missing daughter, Ashley Elkins, was murdered.
What they indicated was there was substantial evidence collected at the home of the ex-boyfriend. They also indicated that based upon that evidence, that Ashley was murdered.
Ashley, a 30-year-old mom from Warren, was last seen Thursday, January 2nd. Her family reported her missing on Friday the 3rd. From the beginning, loved ones suspected the ex-boyfriend. Police searching his apartment for hours on Tuesday.
They do have good leads on where her body is.
The ex-boyfriend was arrested Wednesday and is being held on related charges.
They had broken up in September. We know that Ashley didn't want anything to do with him. So, you know, I can't get in the mind of a psychotic person, someone who would do something like this.
The family holding on to one another close, thinking of the two young boys Ashley leaves behind.
Monster out there that took a very beautiful young lady away from us. And if you heard the tears coming from and her children tonight, it's just absolutely heartbreaking.
Now, the ex-boyfriend, I should say, is said to be arraigned here in Roseville tomorrow morning.
While the ex-boyfriend was on the run, he accessed the internet to search for incriminating queries, such as fastest routes from Flint to Ohio, what to do on the run, is blood traceable, how to beat a polygraph, and deleting Google history. These disturbing searches further solidified the suspicion that he was involved in Ashley's disappearance. DeAndre was arrested and charged with lying to a police officer during a violent crime investigation, a felony offense carrying a potential 4-year prison sentence. He appeared in court on January 9th, where a judge set his bond at $250,000 and ordered that he wear a GPS tether if released.
Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor. Obviously, we're here on a 4-year felony for lying to a peace officer on a violent crime investigation. This is, of course, as Your Honor is aware, involving Ms. Elkins. And the court is to consider MCR 6.106F and MCL 765.6, a number of factors. I'm going to hit on a few if you don't mind. The first is the protection of the public. The underlying matter, although not the charge specifically, but the underlying matter obviously involves a crime of violence, potentially. We are still seeking Ms. Elkins. The defendant, we suspect and believe, may know where she is. And a concern is her safety if, God forbid, the worst has not happened yet. So with respect to that, Judge, I believe that there is a risk to the public, specifically if she were still alive, and that's what we're all hoping for, of course. The other is the defendant's risk of non-appearance and the likelihood of conviction. Likelihood of conviction, Judge. The defendant made several material factual misstatements to detective aspirants and recited those to the court during the course of the initial swear-to. The defendant was aware that we were investigating a missing persons report. He was aware that there was some belief of his involvement. He made misstatements about both his location as well as Ms. Elkins and how she may have left his vehicle, left his apartment complex, all of which we can demonstrate by objective evidence and video evidence to be false. So there's a high likelihood of conviction on these cases, on these matters. And then last and most importantly for the court's consideration, I think at this point, is the probability or improbability of returning for trial. We have a history that includes charges at least. We do not have the disposition, but we did recover DD-214 from his time in the U.S. Army. It looks like in 2016 he was charged with a couple of matters, including larceny of private property, and more importantly, fraudulent ID documents. And then in 2017, he was charged with desertion, or the absence without leave, going AWOL from the Army. Ultimately, he was discharged less than honorably, although it was not a dishonorable discharge. He was discharged from the Army in a less than honorable means or manner. We know that after the conversations, before the conversations with Detective Lesperance, but we believe after the underlying events of this case, he fled from Macomb County, went to Flint, where he was apprehended and brought back to Roseville. And we know that during that time, while he was in Flint, he accessed the internet to search for such things as fastest routes from Flint to Ohio, what to do on the run, is blood traceable, how to beat a polygraph, and deleting Google history. So, Judge, I think by his own words and search history, by his prior conduct, and by what is frankly at stake in this particular matter, he's of significant risk of flight. With that, I would request a significant bond. I'm asking for a $500,000 cash surety bond, no 10%, and that a steel cuff GPS tether be attached should he make that bond.
All right, Mr. King, anything further from you?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Detective Lesperance, is there anything you wish to add?
No, ma'am, not this time.
All right. As Mr. Fox indicated, there are many things the court has to look to with regard to setting bond and determining bond. This court looks most closely at the risk of harm to the public and the likelihood of the defendant's appearance in court. I will note for the record that this matter is currently charged as a 4-year felony. I will also note for the matter that while Mr. Fox did point out several instances from the defendant's time in the military with regard to any sort of matters that came up with regard to larceny or desertion, that there is no other criminal history presented. But that being said, the matter being investigated does involve a missing person, which is a very serious matter. And the court takes very seriously that the allegations being made are that the defendant is lying to a police officer regarding material facts about a missing person at this time. That gives the court great concern about the risk of harm to the public and the likelihood that the defendant will make sure that he appears in court for both this matter and any potential further charges that may be brought by the prosecution. At this time, the court is going to assess a bond in the amount of $250,000 cash surety, steel cuff tether prior to any release.
During the arraignment, Assistant Prosecutor Steve Fox emphasized that DeAndre had repeatedly provided false and misleading information to investigators, hindering their search for Ashley. Fox also highlighted that DeAndre had a concerning military history, including a charge of desertion and an other than honorable discharge from the U.S. Army. Maurice Morton later confirmed that the family had met with Roseville police officials, who shared that substantial evidence pointed to the conclusion that Ashley had been murdered. They also indicated they had leads on where her body might be located, but had not yet found her remains. Maurice expressed deep frustration over the pace of the investigation, but acknowledged that police had been working tirelessly since January 6 to bring some resolution to the case. Ashley's mother, Monica, tearfully addressed the media following DeAndre's arraignment. She expressed her belief that her daughter was no longer alive and described the heartbreak of telling Ashley's young sons that their mother was gone.
That's just a reaction of what you saw in court today. I know this, I can't even imagine.
I just really had no bond. I think it's good he got the bond. I just really didn't want to have a bond at all, you know. I just want him not to be able to get out at all. I just want to go straight to prison and just never get out ever again.
I know that they asked for $500,000 and the judge lowered it. How do you feel about that?
I didn't like that. She should have did $500,000, but I can set $250,000. But, you know, which could have been higher or no bond at all.
And you all have had your suspicions about him. Does this confirm what you were suspecting?
Yes. Yes, I knew it from day one.
Can you tell us about that? Is there a moment that you kind of knew?
When I got to her house, it was 8:40. She left at 8:30. I went in the house for a minute, came back out. I texted her I had a dream of her car being stolen. And she replied back, "Aw, man," which was weird to me. So I FaceTimed her. She didn't answer. So I said to her, just be mindful about your surroundings and, pay attention where you're going. And she didn't call back. That's not like her. And she never called back. And she never texts back. Ever.
Do you think that man that wasn't like her, do you think that was her answering?
No, that was him. I believe he had her when she walked out that front door.
Does he have any violence or history of violence or anything?
I never knew he was violent, but now that I'm finding out things, I know he was stalking, and some things happened, but I found out later from friends first that, yeah.
So you think he was kind of controlling, possessive?
That I know he was, because he would go through her phone, and she was doing hair at home, and he had a problem with men coming in and get their dreads and stuff done. And so she had got a booth somewhere on 8 Mile, so that she wouldn't have any problems with him. Then when they broke up, then she just went back and started doing it from her house.
When did they break up?
I want to say September.
And how long were they dating?
A year.
Can you describe their relationship? Have you been around them when they were
Yeah,
together?
he was around my whole family. When I say I thought he was the one who was going to marry her, just he was good to her kids. He played ball with them. He took me to their haircuts. Ashley's father was murdered also April 8th of last year. He was there for that. I worked for Stellantis, and we had a Christmas extravaganza last Christmas. He was there.
Formal.
The formal. He was there. He was always at my house. I cooked. He was part of the family. So I'm just really shook that he would do something like this.
Monica recalled how DeAndre had once been welcomed into their family. The betrayal they felt after learning of his alleged involvement in Ashley's disappearance was immense. Despite the overwhelming grief, the family remains determined to seek justice for Ashley. Monica stated that the family's focus is now on raising Ashley's sons and ensuring they have the love and support they need during this difficult time. She emphasized that the healing process has already begun, but the road ahead will be challenging. As of January 10, 2025, the search for Ashley's body continues.
And now we turn to Macomb County, where a desperate search is continuing for a missing mother of two. We're looking at new video from Lenox Township, multiple agencies spending a second day at Pine Tree Acres Landfill with a special focus on a 6-acre area. No one has heard from or seen 30-year-old Ashley Elkins since January the 2nd. Her loved ones have been reaching out to us, heartbroken and hoping to get help.
Ashley's ex-boyfriend has been charged in connection with this case. 7 News Detroit reporter Randy Wimbley has been following every development and joins us now with the latest.
Investigators did not find what they were looking for during their search today, but they still have ground to cover.
We're getting close. We're getting close. Like I said, a lot of movement today.
That's the message from Roseville Police Chief Mitch Berlin on day 2 of the search at the Pine Tree Acres landfill in Lenox Township. More than a dozen departments and 50 officers are working to find evidence in the disappearance of Ashley Elkins.
I think it's moving in the right direction, and we're going to continue to our targeted area.
That targeted area is a certain depth below ground. Investigators are using a pair of bulldozers to push away layer after layer of soil and debris on the 6.5-acre plot at the landfill. After each pass, a team of officers follow behind the bulldozers, searching the grounds to find Elkins' remains or evidence of them.
So it's a lot of work, labor intensive. We're up for the task, and we got a lot of great officers here, a lot of great departments that are working hard. Not one complaint up there, everybody's just getting it done.
Investigators are also putting a pair of cadaver dogs to work in their search at the landfill. The canines are good to have on board, but could be thrown off course.
There's other flesh in there. There's meat scraps. There's a lot of different things that you have to get through to find the remains that you're looking for.
We talked with retired Detroit Police Homicide Lieutenant and Oakland County Cold Case Investigator Bill Peterson about the case. He has decades of experience and says the fact police have already whittled down their search area is crucial.
If they've narrowed it down that much, then they've got a bit of a head start to finding what they need. Narrowing that search area down as much as possible, and then starting to search and search and search and search without giving up easily. Matter of persistence.
Meanwhile, Elkins' ex-boyfriend DeAndre Booker has been identified as the prime suspect in her disappearance. He's been charged with lying to police at the onset of the investigation and is behind bars on a $250,000 bond. Those charges could be enhanced based on what investigators find here.
The family and community are hopeful for answers and closure, but the pain of her loss is profound. Monica Elkins summed up the sentiment best when she said, "She didn't deserve this. She was a beautiful soul, and her boys are devastated." The investigation remains ongoing, with police from both Warren and Roseville continuing to pursue leads. The family's message is clear. They want justice for Ashley and hope that her tragic story will serve as a reminder of the dangers of domestic violence and the importance of vigilance in protecting loved ones from harm. What happened to Ashley Elkins should never have occurred. Tragedies like this are often the result of negligence, miscommunication, or failures in accountability. To think that Ashley had to be in fear of her life, hiding in her own home because she was afraid of her ex, is unimaginable. Families and friends are left to endure unimaginable grief, and their lives are forever changed. They carry the weight of unanswered questions and the pain of knowing things could have been different. The impact of this tragedy will ripple through their lives, a constant reminder of what was lost. Those who knew Ashley often described her as a vibrant, caring, and hardworking woman. She had an infectious smile that could light up any room and a warm presence that made everyone feel welcome. Her friends and family admired her resilience, strength, and unwavering loyalty. Ashley had a natural ability to bring people together, creating a sense of unity and love wherever she went. Her love for her family was evident in everything she did, and she was always the first to lend a helping hand to anyone in need. Beyond her role as a mother and hairstylist, Ashley was known for her sense of humor and her optimistic outlook on life. She believed in finding joy in the little things, whether it was through spending quality time with her children, cooking family meals, or sharing laughs with friends. She had a way of making others feel special, often sending encouraging messages or checking in on loved ones, just to make sure they were doing well. Ashley's compassionate nature extended to her community. She often participated in local events and supported community causes, embodying the spirit of Warren's close-knit neighborhoods. She was also deeply connected to her family's church, where she found solace and strength in her faith. My condolences to Ashley's friends and family. May you continue to heal and one day find peace. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.